Hello everyone, I'm Sharon. If you're new here, I secured on rank 48 in CLAT 2025, and now I'm sharing all the tips and tricks I learned over the course of my CLAT journey here on this channel. Firstly, I just want to thank all of you for helping me reach 1000 subscribers. It is a really crucial milestone for me, and especially considering the fact that I haven't even posted any college videos yet. I haven't even joined college yet. Um, I haven't posted any vlogs as of now, and yet I'm already at 1000 subscribers. So just imagining what how much that number will increase or grow once I actually start posting college vlogs and everything. It is absolutely amazing, and even the response to the last video that I posted was absolutely amazing. I mean, before I had posted that video, a part of me felt like it was, you know, for the lack of a better word, it was a little bit cringy. And I'd even talked to one of my friends and told them that I feel like this video won't be as much of a hit as my previous videos have been. Admittedly, I don't have many videos in the first place, but still, that video ended up becoming the most watched video on my entire channel. So, I mean, I'm just, I feel extremely grateful for all of you, for all the support and love you've been showing me, for all the wonderful comments you've been leaving on my channel. Um, it is beautiful, it's really beautiful. So, I just want to thank you all for all of that. And in commemoration of this milestone, I want to share with you 4 or 5 wacky tricks, you could say, unorthodox tricks that I haven't really seen anybody else talk about anywhere on YouTube. I don't think I invented these by any means, but for some or the other reason, I haven't seen anybody talking about these anywhere on YouTube or elsewhere. So I just want to share these with you because these helped me considerably during my own preparation as well. So let's get started. Firstly, with regards to the English section of CLAT, or more accurately, the Reading Comprehension section of CLAT, um, I mentioned in my video on the English section as well that um, if you don't know the meaning of a word, for example, you can just use the context surrounding that word um, and make a relatively accurate guess of what the word would most likely mean. I mean, it isn't a 100% foolproof method by any means, but it's accurate enough that I think it's worth implementing. But other than that, the topic or the trick I want to talk about here is that if you don't know the meaning of a word, look at the building blocks of that word. Uh, what I mean by that, I mean that, for example, let's take a word international. Inter plus national. You can see that the word national there means related to countries, and through logic and through pattern recognition we can see that inter means between two or more things: international, interstate, interschool. So we know that inter means between two or more things. So you know that combining those two smaller words, inter plus national, means international, or something which involves two or more countries, between two or more countries. So now, if we know that international means that, if we come across a word like intranational, then we can see that we already know what national means, related to countries, and we know that inter means between countries. Now here, if you know what intra means, that is within one particular entity, then you can guess quite accurately that intranational means within one particular country, just like international means between two or more countries. And there you go, you did not know the meaning of the word intranational, but just using the smaller building blocks of that word and the knowledge you have about those smaller building blocks, you were able to make a fairly accurate guess about the meaning of that word. This isn't something you can just learn in one day, but just keep this in mind and be aware of the fact that every time you learn a new word or read a new word, uh, look at the building blocks of that word and see and try to find patterns in how those building blocks lead to the meaning of that original word. Again, it won't come in one day, but it will come eventually. Secondly, with regards to the current affairs section, whenever you see a compendium that is like 150, 200 pages long, I know it gets really, really demotivating seeing you have such a huge number of pages that you have to read for just 1 month and then do that every single month 12 times over the course of the entire year to cover the entire current affairs section. So it feels tedious, it feels like you have this entire mountain to climb. But a way that I discovered to trick my psychology basically and convince myself that it is far easier to do than it actually is to just use online tools. There are many tools online for this. Use some tool to split your larger PDF into smaller chunks that are more manageable and more bite-sized. This is not rocket science, dividing your bigger tasks into smaller tasks. This is not rocket science by any means, but the fact is that you have a PDF, a larger PDF of like 150 pages, 200 pages, and then if you divide that into smaller PDFs that have like what 25 pages, 30 pages, and just have 6 PDFs like that for the first month, that genuinely feels far more manageable. And because those PDFs are actual separate files, you get a sense of achievement and a hit of dopamine every time you complete one of those sections because it's more tangible. There's actual physical barrier between each individual chunk. And so you feel like you've actually accomplished something tangible. And it keeps you motivated further to read the other chunks as well. So the next time that your institute sends you a PDF of your compendium, go to Google and search free PDF splitter or something like that, and just use any tool available online that is free, unlimited, and doesn't have malware or anything like that. Um, and you'll see for yourself that this really does help. It is very simple. It is very, very simple, but it does help considerably. Next, clock your time, and in fact, compete against other people with this time. What I mean by that, I mean कि when you sit to study, start timer and keep a record of कि तुमने आज इतना पढ़ाई किया, अगले दिन इतना पढ़ाई किया, and so on. Uh, like use an Excel sheet for this. I used an Excel sheet, and just keep a record of the time you spend studying for each individual day. And what happens then is कि seeing that number, increase further and further. कि for that particular month you studied, let's say, 60 hours, then the next month you studied 70 hours or something like that. It just feels good, it just feels really, really good seeing ki you have something tangible to show for ki yes, you have actually studied, you have some proof that you've studied. I know ki the hours you spend studying is not equal to the actual quality of your studying, but what matters here is कि it feels good. It feels really good seeing that number tick up. कि आज 8 घंटा पढ़ाई कर ली, अगले दिन 9 घंटा कर लिया, ऐसे करते करते that entire month you spent like 100 hours studying just for CLAT. That feels really good because it proves to you irrefutably कि हाँ तुम पढ़ाई कर रहे हो अच्छे से. um, so if you struggle with exam anxiety, for example, then do this. You'll convince yourself with irrefutable proof, with evidence कि तुम सही में पढ़ रहे हो and that you have nothing to worry about. And especially like there's this app, and this is not sponsored or anything, but there's this app that I use for my preparation, YPT karke. YPT. The full form is like Yeolpumta or something. I'm probably mispronouncing that. It's a Korean word. Yeolpumta, Yeolpumta or something like that. It's basically a timer for your studying, but a bit more social than that. You can join various groups that are about that particular thing that you're studying for. So there's groups for like board exams, CLAT as well, JEE, UPSC, everything like that. And you can compete against the people in that group. Now, admittedly, some people cheat on that app. It's not realistic that somebody is out there in that app at the top who's studying 18 hours every single day. That is physically impossible. But if you ignore those cheaters, you can compete against the other genuine people on that app. And if you are somebody who has a competitive spirit, then this will give you so much motivation to keep studying, to beat that other person, your rival, in the amount of hours you spend studying. Again, hours does not equal quality of studying, but what matters is that this gives you motivation to study further, and eventually, just by sheer force, इतना तुम पढ़ चुके होगे कि you will be far more prepared than most other people. And this is one of the things that gave me the most motivation during my own CLAT preparation. So just check that app out. I'll leave a link in the description. Again, this is not sponsored. I just like that app so much that I just have to recommend it. Lastly, don't look at CLAT like most other entrance exams. JEE, for example, NEET, for example, they all have a fixed syllabus. CLAT does not. CLAT isn't a knowledge-based exam like JEE is or NEET is. CLAT instead assesses your logical reasoning, your ability to use logic in various scenarios and then make sure that you arrive at the right answer. I say this in most of my videos, but every section of CLAT, almost every section of CLAT, is just a different flavor of logical reasoning, except for current affairs. English is logical reasoning because you have to use logic to understand and comprehend the passage. Logical reasoning is, well, logical reasoning. Legal reasoning is logical reasoning in a legal situation. Mathematics is also logical reasoning if you think about it. So most sections of CLAT are entirely logic based, and therefore CLAT, unlike most exams, for CLAT you have to think in terms of less is more. As in, don't sacrifice your sleep, don't sacrifice your mental well-being, don't sacrifice your hobbies, your balance, life balance, just for the sake of CLAT, just to study an hour extra for CLAT. I just said in the previous point ki, compete for the hours studying and all that, but don't do that to such an extent ki your life becomes all about CLAT. Because again, because CLAT is a logic based exam, you need to be at the best all the time. You need to have your mind be at its absolute peak. Because अगर तुम नहीं करोगे ऐसा, your brain just won't function as well as your competitors' brain will. Because you just haven't slept properly or relaxed properly or anything like that. So CLAT के लिए less is more. Study, I'm not saying don't study, but study such that you're studying well, but you're also relaxing well and keeping your brain at its optimum level, because too much studying will fry your brain and then you'll have to relax even if you don't want to relax. And then that relaxation will come in the most inconvenient times, like when you're attempting a mock test. तभी तुम्हारा दिमाग वहां पे काम नहीं करेगा. So it's better to just relax when you can, so that you don't have to then forcefully relax when you don't want to. Alright? And with that, that's all from my side. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing to my channel and pressing the bell icon as well. Once again, thank you 1000 subscribers. It is an absolutely overwhelming feeling. Just thank you. If you have any questions, doubts, suggestions, queries, please put them in the comments below. I'll answer them either in the comments themselves, or if I think that they deserve a separate video of their own, I'll make a separate video for them as well. And with that, that's all from my side. Bye bye.